Listen closely.
This is why we agreed today, first of all, to work together towards zero tariffs, zero non-tariff barriers, and zero subsidies on non-auto industrial goods. Thank you.
What you just heard from Wednesday's joint press conference between the presidents of the European Commission and the United States was the sound of Donald Trump backtracking once again. This has become a familiar routine. It goes something like this. Begin by hurling insults at the other side, some of which have a basis in reality, but are mostly wild exaggerations. Threaten extreme consequences. Then meet with the other side, backpedal, and triumphantly announce that you have saved the world from a crisis that your rhetoric and actions caused in the first place. Call it the Donald Trump two-step. Think about Trump's actions with regard to North Korea. He began by calling Kim Jong-un a madman who doesn't mind starving or killing his people and threatening fire and fury. He solved his own crisis by making unilateral concessions to Kim and gushing about how the North Korean people love their absolute dictator and about how Trump trusts him. The same pattern applies with the European Union, which he only recently described as worse than our enemies. Now he tells us, after meeting with Jean-Claude Juncker, that the EU and America truly love each other. Expect to hear a similar climb down on China one of these days. There are those who assert that Donald Trump's seemingly bizarre and unpredictable behavior is actually all part of a canny and wise strategy, that he's playing a kind of four-dimensional chess operating in space-time. Well, if so, he's getting badly beaten here on Earth. In none of these situations has he actually been able to extract real concessions. And there is a cost to this bluster and flip-flopping. Trump is creating a reputation for the United States as erratic, unpredictable, unreliable, and fundamentally hostile to the global order. Leader after leader in Europe has made this clear. George Osborne told me that when he was Britain's finance minister, you knew the United States president had your back. Neither Britain nor any other country can be sure of this anymore, he says. The most tangible data suggesting that the United States is losing its good reputation comes from the economist Adam Posen. He argues that countries are now bypassing the United States and constructing a post-American world economy. You can see this in the flurry of trade agreements that don't include the U.S., from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which was signed minus America, to the trade deal the European Union just signed with Japan, and many others that are in the works. The most dramatic indication of the world sidestepping the U.S., Posen says, is the decline in foreign investment in America. It has fallen off a cliff, he told me. On average, net foreign investment into the U.S. has dropped by half since 2016. Perhaps some of the decline is part of a longer-term trend. Other countries are growing faster than the U.S. But for decades, that reality has been countered by another reality, that among the world's rich nations, America was unique in having strong growth prospects coupled with stable, predictable, pro-market policies. Trump's attacks on trade and allies, his willingness to punish and reward individual companies, and his general unreliability all add up to a picture of policymaking that looks more like that of an erratic developing country run by a strongman. The difference is America's strongman has the power to disrupt the entire global economy.